Hey guys, I just wanted to show you guys some of my recent pickups from Half Price Books. It was recently a bunch of coupons for the week off your highest price item. And I went during the last few days to get the 40%, 50% off. Regardless, these are really good deals. Got some books here that I want to show you guys. I'm going to start off with this House of Secrets Omnibus by Vertigo Comics. It's pretty cool finding this. I had gone a couple days before and I didn't see this there, and I went back again and I found this. I've never heard about it before, but when I saw it, I was really interested, especially because it collects the whole story, looking it up. It's more of an adult themed book, and I think it was published in 1996 last time I checked. It has like some crime, mystery, cult, conspiracy stuff, and I really like the artwork. And I've been getting really into books that don't really have to do with superheroes, that are self-contained, because it's less intimidating. It feels like I don't need to know really so much of what's going on, because it's just one story all by itself. And I really like enjoying that, having a beginning and end. With Spider-Man and X-Men comics and Avengers comics, you don't really know where to start so much, and you're afraid to just pick up any book because you don't know what's going on. But stuff like this looks really promising, and plus I like the artwork a lot. Also, I take the dust jacket off, and has a really nice sturdy book, and it has pretty good artwork on the back. And I'm not sure if it bleeds to the other side. Oh yeah, it all continues on to the other side. And the binding, I'm not sure if it's glued or not. Let me see. Oh, it's sewn binding. That's good. Can't wait to read this. House of Secrets. I'll let you know how good it was after I finish reading it. Next up here we got Donald Duck Lost in the Andes by Carl Barks. I used to get these I used to get like the little kid Donald Duck books that my mom used to read me and stuff, so this really brings me back seeing the Huey, Dewey, and Louie and Donald Duck. And I had been seeing from Near Mint Collectibles that he loves these books, so it made me really interested in this. And he is right. These books are really, really beautiful. And here's what's collected in this volume. Here's some about Carl Barks. And I'm just going to show off the book a little bit here. It's really nice. Oh, you got some forewords by Donald Alt. Got these first stories, and the artwork is just so nice. Really brings me back to when I was little, really crisp. And to make sure that to make sure that I actually kind of liked what I was seeing, I read a little bit of the book while I was at the store at Half Price. And it was actually really funny. And it looks really fun to read. Really, not so many dark issues or anything like that. It's just all really lighthearted humor, lots of fun. And who doesn't need that? If anyone who wants to comment any suggestions for these books, look how cute these guys are. So many different adventures too in this book. I really like the way the pages feel. You got some good numbering at the bottom. Let me get some more extras at the end. I really like when books include stuff like this at the end. Oh, also really important, you can see how much I paid. This book retails for $24.99 on Amazon. I'm not sure how much it is, but a Half Price Books only got it for $9.99, which is a really, really good deal. I couldn't say no. Being my first Donald Duck book, I really felt like I could take a chance with this one, and it looks pretty promising. And House of Secrets, I got it for $37.49, but with the 40% discount I got that day, I got it for about $22. Next up, we have Wonder Woman Amazon Princess Archives Volume 1. I've always wanted to pick up an archive edition. They look pretty cool. They always have a big price tag, so it's kind of like, I don't know, makes it feel kind of premium. I've never seen one that interests me, but this was a number 1 Amazon Princess. From the stories in 1958, picks up with number 98 to 110. And this one retails for $75. So I feel like I got a really good deal, because this one, even though it says $37.49, I got it for the 50% off day on Sunday, and it was like super packed at the store. But surprisingly, no one had picked this up. It does have a tear here, but I reinforced it with tape. Not a big deal. On the inside, I don't know if you can see, but it's embossed with the eagle symbol. And if you guys want to read that, you can pause it. Kind of tells you where the story is picking up, what's going on, just a little bit. So take a look at the book. Has a good table of contents. This was published in 2013. This is a first printing. I believe that's Steve Trevor she's kissing there. I wish it told you the actual years of the books. Oh, it does kind of tell you. 1959, 1958. Got some forward, some really nice artwork. The book seems to be in really good condition. So that's what really made me say, okay, I'll get this book. Really good artwork. From what I've heard, these books, these really old books, are really of the time. And some people find it hard to get through. And I see how that is, you know. The stories are told really different these days. And once you hear the stories that they're telling these days, especially with the more realistic artwork, it's quite different to get into these kinds of books. But I think it's really important to keep these books going, because this, you know, this is where comic books come from. These are their beginnings, their foundations. And it's really good to admire the prose and, you know, the dialogue, even though it might not be the greatest. But it's important to see how it was back then. It's really important to know our history. And it's fun, you know, especially compared to what, like, the stories that are being written these days. Like I just had House of Secrets over there. You know, there wasn't any stories being written that were told like that back then, at least not in the mainstream. But this book looks really, really nice. The quality of the paper is really good too, really nice and glossy, but not too shiny. I hate when the books are really shiny. Here's Wonder Woman fighting a polar bear. Like, come on. That sounds fun. This all looks fun. Look, a wooden horse. Like, I feel like I'm getting spoiled, but it's good to show off these pages. I would recommend this book, even though I haven't started. Oh, look at dinosaur. Wow, okay. Dinosaurs are awesome. Can't wait to read this book. Like, it looks just so fun, like so colorful, really lighthearted as well. You know, there's some bondage themes and stuff, but I haven't seen her tied up yet. Maybe that was in the beginning. But yeah, I really want to get into this book and see what it's all about, especially because I don't really think I've ever written or read a Wonder Woman story before. And of course there's some, oh, it doesn't have really that much extra at the back. Just some biographies. Alright guys, up next we got Super Real. I picked it up for about $9. And this, I had to take a look at it. I was like, what is this? It's kind of thick book. This one came out, I think in 2010. You could read the story in the back if you want. But basically it seems like there's a reality show that gives, I think it's about 5 characters superpowers, and chaos ensues. It's supposed to be, rated R and stuff. This feels very independently produced. You can't see it in the video, but the lettering and some of the parts on the artwork are embossed, as in like they have a texture to them, which is really cool. But I really like the artwork. It's very different. Feels very 90s or early 2000s, but it's not, so that's kind of surprising. But it looks really good, especially towards the middle. Like there's some like, what's going on? Crazy stuff. But I thought the story was, or the idea in the little blurb was really creative, and I'm definitely going to review this book when I'm done with it. I'm trying not to look at spoilers, but you guys can look. I'm not looking at the camera right now. Is that kind of silly? But it looks really fun. It looks really fun. It looks like a good read. Up next is a book that, at first glance, I was like, well, I'm not gonna really pick this up. There's other things that interest me besides Generation X. It's kind of like an offshoot of X-Men. But I read the back of it, and you can pause it now and read that if you want. This book goes for, I'm not sure how much it goes for, but I guess double $12.49. I don't know how hard it is to find. I think this one was published in 1999 or 96. And it tells you what is collected here. Kind of a weird way to show it off, but that's what's collected. And the reason I picked this up is because even though it's 90s artwork, I see a lot of the familiar X-Men and Banshee is one of my favorite X-Men, and I see him throughout the whole story. See, there he is again, and there he is again. And I'm not gonna turn my back on a story with Banshee. I don't get enough Banshee in comics. And it looks like there's a lot of battles, and the story looks very interesting of the phalanx and how the X-Men need these specific other younger characters. And it's an origin story, so if I like what I read, then I can always go to another store or go on Amazon or something and try to see more about Generation X. But it looks really cool to me. Fun read. There's Jubilee. Some artwork on the back. So, I kind of like when, this is a very 90s thing to do. Well, I love Forge too. This is a very 90s thing to do the these side pages. And I kind of like seeing that. I know that Image Comics did that a lot. And I don't really read Image comics that much, but it's kind of cool when it pops up sometimes. Like I said, I don't read too much 90s books, but this one looks pretty interesting. And funny story, this Wonder Woman book was on the 50% off day. And so my wife was with me at the time, and she had the paper coupon. So she went in line. She came up with the idea of going in line with a paper coupon and buying this Wonder Woman for 50% off. And then I bought this one for the 50% off in my email. So it's pretty cool when your girlfriend helps you out, or wife actually. And next, I opened this one because I was too excited. But this is pretty cool. It's the whole original Speed Racer series, and it's in a like a box set, and it's really, really cool. I've never read a manga before, nor have I really seen the show, but I did get the Blu-ray collection for my dad because I know Speed Racer because of my dad. He grew up with this stuff. So I decided to take a chance on it. And I'm going to try to show kind of how these books... Oh, come on. Hold on. Oh, these are the books. And it's kind of throws me off how they're, the way we see books here in America, it's backwards. So that's that's a trip. But... this is a complete collection, and it's really beautiful the way they did it. You got dust jackets, and on the inside you got some different artwork. So I'm going to show that off here. Let me put my phone down. So here's the inside of the dust jacket, and here's the book itself. Really, really cool. And I can't wait to get into this, even though it's black and white. I've actually been reading a Hulk UK from the UK vaults, and those are pretty much all black and white. I think only the beginning of this is in color. I don't know why. But this book kind of... I'm going to have to do it this way, because I'm using my right hand to record, but... the pages are kind of thick. Not overly thick. Actually, they're thicker than most books. So that's good. They're durable, and this looks like a really nice lighthearted read. There's kind of a theme here. I went for books that are, easygoing. This one looks really fun. So I'm going to get the Racer X one right here. And the inside is different too, which is really cool. They didn't have to do that. They could have, made the book, all the same, but they're all different. Even this part, this is Racer X, and this has Speed Racer. So let's take a look at this book. Should be very similar to the other ones. Don't want to spoil anything for myself, but it looks pretty action-packed. Looks really fun to read. I know the story is like Speed Racer wants to race, but his dad won't let him for some reason. Don't want to go into spoilers. My dad has explained some parts to me, but it looks really fun. Another fun read. Oh, and this one I got for $14.99, so you can't beat that. Like 2 hardcovers, a slipcase, dust jackets, complete, and it was sealed. So, wow, Half Price Books is my favorite store. And next we're going to take a look at some comics I got. I hear a lot of stories about how Half Price Books puts stickers right on the comic books themselves, and thank God my Half Price Books does not do that. Take a look here at the Uncanny X-Men book. I really like Bishop, and I like when all the X-Men characters are shown off. I'm not too fond of this run in particular, because I feel like the artwork is kind of weightless, really thin lines and stuff. But this is still a really nice cover. I really like it. And as you can see, there's more X-Men books that I was able to find. And this was only $1.50, so you can't go wrong. Oops. Also got Annual Firestorm. This book is super clean. I was surprised about how clean it was. So I felt like I had to pick it up. This is my first video, so bear with me. I need to get a tripod or something. Try to show off these comics best. But I've always liked Firestorm. I got a Firestorm DC Universe Classic for Christmas one time from my parents, and ever since then I've always, if I see a Firestorm comic, I have to at least check it out a little bit. You got this Superman versus, I guess, Dial H for Hero. I'm not sure what's going on here, but I really like the way Superman is drawn. I like the action in the shot, and I have a dream of, at least showing off my best comics, and I like the older comics the best, and so that one looks cool. Here's what I was talking about. Some more X-Men. This is all pretty much the core X-Men at the time. I know they were separated into like gold and blue or something kind of teams. I gotta look into that more, but there's Wolverine, Cyclops, Psylocke, Beast, Gambit, Rogue, and Apocalypse, all looking really cool and really nice, clean book. This is also $1.50. Can't go wrong. And when I got home, I discovered that the back still had the Apocalypse trading card, and I have a book of trading cards that I'll probably review later too. And this was a really nice surprise. I love trading cards, the old ones. Then we got X-Men. This is issue 13. Oh, the other issue was 14. And the one before that was 292. Big difference, but this one also has the X-Men here. It has the same characters. I don't know who that is. Look kind of like Graviton, or pretty sure that's not him, but that's what it looks like from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show. This one's really cool. It has a lot going on, and there was a character on this cover that I didn't notice at first until I got home and I was really looking at it. And this is issue 18. It has Omega Red. It has Cyclops, Wolverine, Jubilee, Psylocke, Colossus, and I didn't notice, but there's Iceman even in the back. So it's really cool seeing Iceman there. And here's another Annual Firestorm. Just, again, a really nice, clean book. And I really liked it. So that was also, this was actually $1 even. And last but not least, this is my favorite of the bunch, X-Men in the Spectacular Spider-Man. So even though it's a Spider-Man book, you're surrounded by X-Men and in their best shots. Iceman on the ice sled, Beast doing his thing, Cyclops doing his thing. I wish he was kind of laser blasting, but that's okay. And Archangel. So that's very cool. Alright, so thank you guys again for watching on my first video. I'm surprised how long it went, but it's pretty fun talking about this stuff. I get pretty into it. It's a lot of stuff, but half price books is the way to go. I'm going to be promoting half price books. I don't care if it's, secondhand. I really don't care about that. All I care about is getting good quality books, and half price books, you can't really go wrong. Also, as I'm recording this, it's Prime Day, so I'm getting Saga Book 1 hardcover coming in. So stay tuned for that. And thank you.